Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talks with Nick. I'm Nick, my dude, your host. Today I've got with me LethalSuper. Usually goes by Lethal. And why don't you take a
Hello.
second to introduce yourself?
Hi. So I'm LethalSuper. I'm a very small Twitch streamer. Rarely do, but I do also upload on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, I'm just a small streamer. I play a bunch of variety of games. I've been mainly focused on Destiny 2 for a while now, but that kind of is going the shitter right now. So I'm trying to spread my wings and figure out what I want to stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a game that you kind of touch base with for the most part. A game you go back to. I know Destiny's had some troubles lately, like I've been in the news for most recently a bunch of layoffs, which is never good.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were talking about it just before the call started. Dead by Daylight apparently is getting Five Nights at Freddy's, which I've never played, but you seemed pretty excited about.
Well, for me, Dead by Daylight's a weird topic for me just because I used to love the game a whole lot, but then they just made a bunch of changes to the game that didn't really make me happy. So I haven't touched the game in like 6 months, I believe. So it's been quite a while, but I might start playing it again.
Yeah, I understand not playing a game that doesn't make you happy or isn't really very fun. I dropped Halo Infinite a couple months ago, actually, so trust me, I understand.
Yeah, I remember you saying that as well.
It's interesting when games do stuff like that, find ways to make their player bases so unhappy they stop playing. What is it about Destiny that's kind of got you? I mean, besides obviously the news of with Pete Parsons' cars getting a raise. Uh,
Um,
what is it about
I,
Destiny that's kind of got you irked about it? I guess.
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think the episode content structure that they have going is not as good as what it was kind of planned that they were trying to plan it to be. Like, I love Destiny. It's always there's no other game that scratches the itch that Destiny has created and scratches for me. But the episode, like the way that they have the episodes, has been so far very lackluster. I shouldn't have to wait a month in between acts to play and get the story. It should just be like almost a weekly thing. But, I shouldn't, like, I understand if I have to wait, like 2 weeks between acts just because they want to, prepare stuff. But a whole month is a little ridiculous. Even if there wasn't layoffs, I still think that is ridiculous. Aside from that, I've just been not enjoying like doing anything in the game recently. The only thing that I was pretty much keeping me afloat and making me want to play was playing Crucible with Lodge, and I can't even enjoy doing that right now because even if I step into Crucible, I already know I'm gonna have somewhat of a bad time.
Yeah, I think when I picked Destiny back up, it was because I was having fun messing around in Crucible, not so much enjoying the normal gameplay loop that people kind of go for. But when you say like you don't really have fun with anything else, have you done like the newest raid? Have you even really thought about doing that, or is it just kind of like a whatever at this point for you?
So the issue is I still have yet to do the new raid. I've not even tried it in the slightest. Actually, I did try it once during day one alone to see how far I could actually get by doing it alone. But aside from that, I haven't done it. I do want to do it. However, I don't like LFGing. I for the most part refuse to LFG because the people can just be so toxic, so rude, and so unforgiving or don't understand your situation that it makes it not fun. That's why I've been waiting for John to finish his video. So I was like, we should do the raid once he's done. But that's taken quite a lot longer than I think a lot of us have anticipated.
Yeah, I think so. I actually did talk to John about his video in the first episode of this thing. He said it should be coming out soon, so hopefully he's back to doing raid nights soon. And for anybody who didn't see episode one, we're talking about John Titor. He's another, I wouldn't say Destiny content creator, but primarily Destiny content, kind of like Lethal here. But
Yeah.
that's actually how we ran into each other. I think I don't remember if we met in a game night or anything, but I know that he was, I mean, you were in his Discord, and that's how we kind of ran into each other.
Yeah, I think yeah, it was just by coincidence that we kind of met, and honestly, it's been awesome. You're pretty good. You're a pretty good guy, and I do play. I enjoy playing with you and stuff.
Yeah, that's why you won't play any more Halo with me. I understand. No, it's okay. No,
That's just because you're way too fucking good.
no, never. But it's been great playing games and getting to know you. But some things that I do want to ask, and maybe some people would want to know, is like, what got you into gaming initially? Like, was it Destiny? I know you said you've been playing Destiny since like, I'm guessing the launch of Destiny 1, but were you playing games before then, or was Destiny like what started it for you?
So yeah, Destiny was not my first ever video game. The first ever video game and video game console that I owned was I owned a Nintendo Wii, with specifically the first game ever being New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I fell in love with the platforming, with playing the game. I played it every day, every night. I remember I still have one memory specifically where I was trying to beat Bowser before I had to leave for school, even. I was so addicted to that game. Then I got addicted to Mario Galaxy. And then I don't remember exactly which birthday it was. I think it was maybe my eighth or ninth birthday. I got a Xbox 360, and that's actually how my name came about, because my brother, he was making the account for me, and I don't remember if it was randomly generated or if he just made the name, but my original full gamer tag was Lethal Superior 3, which is kind of where the LethalSuper comes from, because I couldn't just have a lethal. But
Mm-hmm.
slowly over time I've just shortened down my name, and it's just really become Lethal. But yeah, honestly, I wish I still had my Nintendo Wii just to play some of those old games. I know I can emulate them, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, there's something nice about having those older consoles. I'm sad I didn't get to see the stage in which you were shortening your name and you're going by Lethal Soup.
I don't think I ever did that.
Well, I mean, technically you're still Lethal Super now, so in the future you could still become Lethal Soup.
I am the soup.
Exactly. So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how has your gaming journey evolved over the years? Like you said, you started with Mario, but what got you into, well, honestly, a first-person shooter like Destiny?
So I think it was obviously after I had gotten my Xbox 360. I wasn't allowed many games because my parents didn't want me to play like mature rating games. And I believe it was my 10th birthday. I got both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Ghosts at the same time. I absolutely fell in love with playing those games because I watched my brother play those games from time to time. So I always just was intrigued. And from there, I met some of my really good friends. I met quite literally my best friend that I still talk to. Not a whole lot, but we still chat every now and then. But from there, I just, I met him, and we played a lot of, GTA 5. We played a lot of just Call of Duty in general. And one day, my friend just texted me after I get an Xbox One for Christmas. He's like, hey, you should get this game that, me and my other friend were buying, called Destiny. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll buy it. It seems like a lot of fun. And it was a downhill slope from there.
That is interesting. I mean, you said they didn't want you playing M-rated games and they let you play Call of Duty. Did they not
They
know what the
caved in.
Okay, I was gonna say, did
They
they
caved
not know
in
what
a
the
lot.
letter on the front of Call of Duty stands for?
I probably should have emphasized that they kind of there's a point where they just stopped. They just couldn't really control it.
Well, it's really funny about my gaming journey. It's I would say quite a bit different than yours. So when I started playing games, I was, I don't know, probably around 5, and I'm gonna age myself a little bit here, but I played on my first gaming console I ever owned was an N64, but this was after, like, well after it had come out. The
Hell yeah.
next gaming console I owned was the PlayStation 2, and then I owned an Xbox. And I got that Xbox when I was, I think, in high school. It's a little fuzzy. I might have been in middle school, about to be in high school, but the 360 had already been out. Like Halo 3 was out before I got my first original Xbox. So my first gaming experience was like a car racing fighting type game. I forget the name. I looked it up before, but you like drove around in like cars and shot at each other with like missiles and stuff. And then there was also Twisted Metal. So I played that and Twisted Metal on the N64. If you've never played Twisted Metal, it's the same thing. It's cars shooting at each other in like a death arena, like Mad Max type
Okay.
thing. And so I didn't get my 360 until I was in high school for sure. Like I know I didn't. And this, I don't know how surprising this will be, but I didn't start playing competitive Halo and like learning how to be good at Halo until like I want to say end of 2014, maybe 2015.
That's not that surprising to me, honestly.
I think a lot of the people that we've met and played with have like assumed I've been playing competitive Halo since the beginning.
I feel like that's just an unfair way of thinking. I feel like, you know, it's someone doesn't have to play competitive for a long time to be able to be good at it.
That's not really what I think. I think that just comes from, and this is kind of a rehash of a little bit of a topic, but I think that just comes from like people's general experience with competitive gaming as a whole. You weren't there, and episode one watchers, I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat this story a little bit, but when I played the first time with John, we played Halo, and we are playing
Mhm.
like community like custom games, and I think afterwards, I don't remember who it was, but somebody in his like Discord, I like put like in the trade chat, the main chat, like, you know, GG's everyone, thanks for playing with me and all that. First reply, what pro team do you play for? So, and I'll stress, I am not at a professional level in any game. Uh, I think Halo, I would technically be the closest, but that's just because I've played it for so long. I am on the higher end of the bell curve in terms of like general population skill, but there's like the top 1% of the top 1% who are the pros, and then there's still like another 20% of the population that would mulch me. So it, it it's interesting to be around people who see that like top third as like close to being pro, even if we're not. It's actually why I might come off as like humble bragging or like overly humble sometimes, because I spend a lot of time around the like competitive communities and like see the top, you know, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, that does make sense. I mean, I remember I think when I first ever watched John's video or when I was first talking to you or whenever we first play Halo, regardless, I never actually thought I actually never knew that you did play somewhat competitively. I just thought you were just a fucking good gamer.
I think Halo skill, because you've only really played like shooters with me. We played a little
Yeah.
bit of Stellaris, but I don't really play RTS games.
Yeah.
But like any shooter, Halo skill at some level will always transfer, whether it be like aiming or keeping track of people. Because once I learn the maps, like the biggest skill that I take from any game from Halo is when I'm on a map, I make like a mental 3D image of the map in my head, and then try to keep track of like where people could be at all times.
No. Really, that's actually really interesting. I don't think I personally would ever do that because I don't think I've ever taken it like I've usually just not cared, I guess is the best way to put it for me.
I mean, that's understandable. It's not playing competitively is not for everyone. There is a difference between like playing to do cool things and win versus playing competitively. And
Yeah.
I think there's a big disconnect with a lot of people in that kind of mindset. Because you said you play Crucible, and Destiny has a ranked mode, but a lot of the people who want to be good at like enjoy like winning and playing and doing cool stuff in Destiny play 6v6 control, not the competitive mode. Would you say that that's like a
Yeah.
fair statement?
Um, I would say that it's not necessarily a fair statement, but it's a pretty accurate statement. There's a lot of people who just play sixes to just play sixes, like me and Lodge do. There's also a lot of people who just play, competitively. I think it's too much of a mix to say that it's a majority, but there are definitely people who are competitive that do play. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in any game, the competitive, like, I want to say like the competitive, generally the competitive, I want to be ranked high. I want to learn the game, be good at the game is always going to be like a much smaller portion of any PvP games population. It's always going to be less than like the people who just play for fun.
Yeah.
Unless the game is like super, super, super old, like Halo 1. Like most people who play Halo 1 still don't actually play, like they play because they enjoy being good. Like they want to be better than the other people who are still playing. You're not gonna like show up to a Halo 1 LAN and play shotguns. Can't like invisible shotguns. You're gonna play 2v2s.
Yeah.
But moving away from like Destiny in terms of like PvP, I guess. And this might be in Destiny. I'm curious actually. Can you describe a particularly memorable gaming moment or achievement?
Oh.
Finishing a raid in a record time for yourself, or I don't know, the first time you ever used the ice wall thing that Lodge does sometimes.
Yeah. I think I do have a couple memorable moments. One not so great, but it's not even. It's not that I don't want to say it. I'll tell it right now. Actually, back when I was young and I was playing on my Nintendo Wii, I would play so much Super Mario Galaxy to the point where my eyes would get like bloodshot red from just playing and gaming for so long for such long time periods. My parents would get so worried. I think I don't even remember, but yeah, my eyes were fucking on fire during then. But I think one of the most memorable times for me was during Destiny. Actually, it was, I believe, one of the first times in Destiny 1 that I was doing the raid Vault of Glass with my friends. We had just beat it, and the way that loot dropped in Destiny 1's very different from Destiny 2. You would get to like an end screen, and it would pop up with, you know, like two things to loot, or I don't remember exactly. And you would just get another drop on top of that before that popped up in Destiny 1. And that day, I remember I had gotten both, I believe it was Vex Mythic Class and Icebreaker in one run of a log, and I was over the moon. It was either Vex Mythic Class or Icebreaker or Gallahorn, and it was either Gallahorn and Vex Mythic Class and Icebreaker. It was one of those. There was two of those, three. I don't remember the exact combination, but I was over the moon because I've been trying to get those exotics for a while, and that was definitely a high memorable time period for me. I'm trying to think if there's any other major ones that stick out, but I don't think there really are. Like I have a lot of memorable moments when gaming, however, none that are like this one I want to engrave into my head.
Yeah, that's understandable. And for people at home who don't know and didn't play Destiny 1 Vault of Glass, drop rates were insane for the Mythic class. They're still insane in the new version. It's super, super, super difficult to get the drop, and so you have to really grind. It's like a real MMO sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. I was wondering like if it would be from Destiny. Destiny does have a lot that ability to be like that, whether it be like a drop or like seeing, like for a lot of people, I imagine there's a ton of people who's like first time running Deepstone and getting to the jumping part, like that's like probably one of their like biggest gaming memories, because that was really really a cool thing too. So Destiny's really got that ability, I think.
The one thing that I do miss from Destiny 1 a lot that I wish actually translated to Destiny 2's LFG.
Is it the exotic to decode into a blue?
No, that is quite funny, but I don't think that ever happened to me personally, if I'm being completely honest, luckily. But no, one thing I do miss from the LFGing in Destiny that is just non-existent in today's, it's just how relaxing and how chill people can be when you raid. Back in Destiny 1, I remember, raiding people with people who were just getting off of work on a Friday night, getting drunk, people, getting high off of marijuana. I think one time I even raided someone who was high on crack. It's just like, you can't get that nowadays when you raid in Destiny, and I do miss that. I mean, obviously I never do crack, but
you heard it here first, folks. Lethal was in fact the one on crack in that LFG. So if you have the clips, please let me.
No. Wait.
wait. I think that's from the culture shift in gaming. Back, because I'm older than you, and I've been playing online games longer than you, and I don't mean like longer. I mean like I literally started before you did.
Yeah.
I would be fairly confident to say. I think gaming culture
fairly young, so
I think gaming culture has changed a lot since like Destiny 1 rating was LFGable and all that stuff. Because like back then, it wasn't this like the internet wasn't full of people constantly looking for like meta loadouts, meta strategies, perfect cheese rates, 100% cheese rate for the boss or something. And that's kind of something that's become prevalent in the last like I want to say like 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I do agree. It's become a lot more of a, you must be using this exact loadout with these exact weapons in order to do. That's why there's this meme I do love, but it's like you need to be using everything perfectly to do like 2 mega farts of giga damage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
and it's so true to an unfortunate level.
Yeah. I see this a lot in like PvP in Halo, especially because I play a lot of it, and I'm really attuned to like the Halo community, much more so than Destiny. If you'll talk to people who are in my skill range, and they're talking about like, oh, I should go watch film and get better, and you'll ask them like, okay, are you like planning to like compete at all, even for fun, like go into tournaments just to test yourself? And like, no, I just want to win matchmaking games, which is fair. Like, I want to win more matchmaking games, but there's like a level of commitment by the average player, or like even the like a slightly above average player in terms of like commitment that like wasn't there like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, people
Yeah.
were not watching film just because they wanted to get a little bit better to have more fun in matchmaking in Halo. So
Yeah.
and I wonder if like the way Destiny 2 handles loot has played into it at all. Because like if in Destiny 1, like at the end of the Rise of Iron, the last expansion, I went and checked my character because I could still see what they're wearing, and like I was like near, I want to say like power cap or whatever it was. I think it was a level cap. I don't actually remember how Destiny 1 handled it, but I was like near
Yeah.
the cap, and I didn't have like all purple and I didn't have all like legendary exotic gear. I had like 2 blues, a purple, and like an exotic in my weapon slot.
Yeah. I can't. You can still go back and look at your old Destiny 1 character if it's linked to your same Bungie account.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go through like DIM or Destiny Item Manager. And yeah, I mean, once you got to like a certain power, your blue gear would just be like 390. I even have blue gear that's 400. I'm looking at it right now actually. And like it was just a very different time, you
I
know.
think I think just in Destiny 1 in general, because legendaries were kind of legendary and exotics were like really hard to get unless they were like given to you or whatever. Like the original Kvastov, because you unlocked that through like a quest.
Yeah.
It was like a really like if you had like an exotic, like there was a high chance no one else in the lobby had that same exotic. Or if they did, it was not very many people.
No, I do agree.
Unless you're playing like serial raiders who like really enjoyed like grinding for that stuff.
Yeah.
So that
And also just sorry to cut you off, but and also just like the stats, the way that stats worked in Destiny 1 were also just so much better. It was just only 3 stats and there was only 5 tiers, and I feel like I still wish that Destiny would get a PC port and that we can play our old characters on Destiny 1. Because that I feel like that would bring a lot of the Destiny community back.
Yeah, I think Destiny 1, from what I can remember, I think I enjoyed Destiny 1 more. Not just from like a community perspective, but like I think the PvP was more fun because it was more gun based, less ability based. And then raids were like, okay, some of the raids are harder now, but like the Destiny 1, 2 raids weren't as hard as the Destiny 1 raids, from what most people were telling me.
Well, there is some argument there just because a lot of the Destiny 2 raids you cannot solo at all. Like at least in the newest raid, Salvation's Edge, I've seen that a lot of people are actually being able to solo parts, and I do like that. I feel like some parts of the raids should be able to be soloed just so that people can do that. But in Destiny 1, a lot of like I still remember in Destiny 1 in Crota's End, you can what you could do is you could pop a self-res warlock in order to skate all the way across the bridge section, kill an enemy, die, respawn, use bad juju, get your super up again. I still remember doing that. Yeah, it's definitely a different. It's Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 are such two different experiences at this point. I feel like.
Yeah, they definitely are. I just I was just saying that like I think because your character could do less or was supposed to be able to do less in Destiny 1, the raids just had to be were just different.
Hmm.
Because
I
now
agree.
like I don't know, I mean you've seen it like now if I play like on my warlock, I can have Song of Flame with my class item and have basically infinite cold snap grenades, then go into super and like clear like the entire room and no one would have like has to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's a power level thing. I think they did a really good job from what I was watching with the mechanics, and that's what I think raids should be. I play a lot of Final Fantasy, or I did anyway, and I think it's hard to make raids for first person shooters, but I think Salvation's Edge is probably their best attempt ever. It's really good in terms of being hard and using mechanics more than just like shoot yellow bar till yellow bar gone.
Yeah. And there is another aspect to Destiny 1 I do miss, and that was you like in Destiny 1, you had to actually level up your weapons with XP in order to actually use their full perk skill. Not like how they have it today with crafting. It was,
Mm-hmm.
completely RNG that you would get the weapon with the perks you wanted. And if you did, you had to level it up. And there was ways to fast track it. You could use modes of light in order to fast track your level up process. There was,
I remember
a bunch of different
that.
kinds of there's a bunch of different kinds of items like exotic shards, so you could use to
Spindle
get
leaf or
get
whatever
exotics.
from the I forget the name now, but the metal like coming out of the canisters of the area you start in.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like it's in Destiny too. It's the
I'm trying to
metal.
remember exactly, but I can't off the top of my head. And I
I
know
just always call it the
or
metal
spin
plant.
metal, spin
Spin
metal.
metal, yeah, spin metal.
Yeah, they still had planetary materials that you could grab.
Yeah,
There was, and also a lot of there was a lot of quests, a lot of exotic quests, a lot of just random quests that would get you just a weapon. And I still to this day do believe that Destiny 1 is better than Destiny 2. It's harsh take, I know, but Lodge definitely disagrees with that statement. But I just I feel like I had way better memories with Destiny 1 than I did with Destiny 2.
that's fair. I mean, it's understandable.
It could
Every
also
game is
be
going to
a
be different, but
combo.
I'd like to
Sorry.
pivot off of Destiny. I do have some other
Yeah.
stuff I'd like to go over, and
No, yeah, I understand.
I know a lot of this stuff, and we've talked about Destiny before. But I mean, this is a question I asked John, but I'm gonna ask basically everyone: is what was your first piece of content, and how did it feel to put it out there?
Hmm. So
I mean, or stream, I guess. Maybe you streamed for the first time because I'm part of the
I've
generation of where streaming wasn't really a thing. So most people started on YouTube.
well, there's there's two or three answers I could give. I did randomly on TikTok post a video, and it was just a meme that I had saved on my phone. I was like, fuck it, I'll just put it on TikTok, whatever. For some reason, it just blew up. It's got over like 2 million views. It's got like 100, almost 110,000 likes. And it was nothing special. It was just a meme I put on my TikTok. But like the actual first piece of like content that I did do, it definitely was it was my first ever YouTube video that I uploaded. It was titled 380, I believe it was. Yeah, 3 idiots go swimming in Destiny 2, and it was just all it is was me and my friends learning how, or at least me teaching my friends how to do the Ghost of the Deep dungeon because it was their first ever time through that. I You could tell just by watching the video that I was so nervous when doing my little introduction. And it wasn't even that long ago. It was a little over a year ago, I believe. And it was just I don't know. I was really new to that stuff. It made me really anxious, but the more I've done streaming, I've definitely become better at like just being vocal. The first time I ever streamed was actually this year in March. I've had quite a lot of luck with streaming overall. I may be plateauing a little bit, but I don't even care. I don't care. You know, I have the community that I have, and I would never trade them for anything.
Even if I offered you $2 million?
Well, now that you put it like that,
All right.
no,
LethalSuper has left the grid. LethalSuper has left.
I
Yeah.
mean, $2 million is $2 million. But
I mean, yeah, I'd understand. No, but like, I think that's, you talked about like being anxious and stuff about it. And I think that is, you know, something like people can understand, because like when you put your stuff on the internet, like people are not nice on the internet. Like generally the people we hang around and stuff will be supportive and all of that. But like you always run the risk of like it being picked up by the algorithm and being taken outside of your circle, whether you want it to or not.
yeah,
It could get to a crowd that is just mean. I think generally the internet overall is nicer than it was 10 years ago, but it is still not like, if you commit like the cardinal sin of calling a magazine a clip, you will just be eviscerated in the comments. So, so it's just like, it's interesting, I think, and understandable that it would be nerve wracking to put something out there. And you're talking about like your intros and stuff. I'm not even good at intros. You stream a lot more than me, but I've been streaming off and on for a while, and I've never really done YouTube content. It's usually just like clips put into a video without anybody talking. So it's just like raw footage. And this is kind of like the first time I'm like doing intros. And intros are hard, especially when you're in a call with somebody else and they're listening to you, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, this guy's an idiot. Did he just say hi, everyone? What the heck?" So I think it's something that like people just have to get good at, or like you just do like a standard recording and just do it until you get it right.
yeah, I do agree on that part. I think it's more of, it's kind of like doing a public speech in a sense. At least that's how I feel like. It's kind of like doing a public speech where you're standing in front of a crowd and you don't want to mess up what you're saying. But at least with like making an intro, you have the ability to go back, redo it, get it right.
Yeah, as somebody who did public speaking as part of his job, largest crowd 500, by the way. I struggled more with the intros than I did with that. I think the first time I got on stage and like did the thing I was doing, it was hard, but then I did it a whole bunch more times. And it was a presentation that we did, I want to say like semi-regular, like we did it at every event because it was for like a specific group of people, without telling you exactly what I did.
Yeah.
But it was a 2-person presentation. And at one point, like we were like missing somebody, like somebody didn't show up, which was like a big deal because they were supposed to present. And my manager at the time was like, "Yeah, hey, we might have to send you up there by yourself. Good luck." Having the confidence to be able to go do that in front of, hundreds and hundreds of people versus like looking in a camera and saying, "Hey everyone, this is, Nick, blah, blah, blah. Be my friend," is a lot. I don't know. I find it harder actually. At least in retrospect.
I would agree. Well, at least me personally, I've just never been good with talking. I have pretty bad social anxiety, which is why I think I'm actually pretty okay with doing videos and streaming, just because I know I'm not face to face. At least my brain doesn't register that. So I'm able to be a lot more calm when I'm talking. But if it were to be face to face, I'd be, stuttering, tripping over my own words. It would be a disaster.
Yeah, I do have some social anxiety, but I'm naturally like really quiet. I don't know if you've been there, but I've had multiple people complain that I'm quiet as fuck.
I'm also very soft spoken, which is why I have to keep my mic really close to me.
Yeah, my mic is pretty close.
That also causes issues if I get like super loud, but
yeah. My input will be at like 200% on Discord, and I'll join a Discord and start talking, and they're like, "Bro, are you okay? Because you're so quiet." And I'm like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know. Please help."
I also have all my settings for my input like maxed out as well.
Yeah. Speaking of social, like the anxiety and like learning how to do intros and stuff like that, what's something you've learned about yourself through content creation? I know you said you just started streaming, but you've uploaded a couple of YouTube videos.
I've uploaded. So since streaming, I've uploaded 2 YouTube shorts. The first one did pretty well. I wasn't expecting it to do anything. The second one I uploaded though, that one actually like really popped off for some reason. I think I just hit the algorithm just right with it. And it wasn't even like an overly, good video. I don't think it was, anything super awesome, but it just hit the algorithm just right, and it made me really happy. But
Yeah. So maybe it's better to focus on streaming. Like, so like when you like, obviously you started in, you said March, but like since then has like going online and speaking to your community, the community that you've gotten, and like, has that taught you anything about yourself? Because like for me, since I started streaming, I realized like something I learned about myself is that I really, really do not like filling space. I'm really bad about just letting there be dead air in a game, which is something I'm working on. But it's just kind of interesting. It's because I'm so used to just enjoying being around people while they're talking.
I think I also agree. I do like just having noise, which is the main reason I think why I just listen to Spotify as well, just so I don't have to, keep talking and explaining everything I'm doing. But I also understand that I need to make sure that I am, doing what I'm trying to do, and that's entertain. So I think the one thing that I have learned for myself is just, if anything, I just have learned to enjoy it, really. If anything, I've learned to not stress too much about it, not take it like it's a job or anything, just enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think that that's really big because I know when I first started and was like, I would look over and it would be like the stream alerts or whatever stream bot I had. It was like, Nick, my dude, has gone live. 3 hours later, Nick, my dude, it's like just the bot for like 2 hours. But then I just kind of, like you said, you have to remind yourself it's not really a career. It's a hobby, at least for most of us. And and like not to take it too hard to see something like that and to know like it takes a lot. It not only does it take like being charismatic and all this other stuff, but like it takes luck too. There are some like really, really, really cool streamers that I watch that like have not blown up just because they haven't like either hit the algorithm at the perfect time or gotten a lucky raid from some other Twitch person. So it's good to have that like mindset that you have, like where it's you're just trying to have fun with it. Just enjoy playing the games with people and like
Yeah. I think that's the thing I struggled with the most actually when starting was not any of what we were just talking about, but it was just, I guess you did bring it up, was just looking at numbers. I know I'm more conditioning myself to not care how many viewers I have, how many followers I have, subs. I'm conditioning myself to just not care and just do.
yeah, just do it, as Shia LaBeouf famously said one time.
Make your dreams come true.
Have you seen the I don't know if I've sent this. Have you seen the Just Do It remix?
Is it one from like a long time ago?
It's a little
Or-
older now at this point.
I think I have.
It's a
at
YouTube
this point,
video.
but
It like it's unfair how catchy it is. Maybe I'll like pause the video and just like play a part of it.
Some people dream success.
Just to show everyone who watches this or listens.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Just because it's really funny.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I have listened to it before, but it's been a while, so I don't remember how it sounds like or anything.
Mm-hmm. So like outside of obviously interacting with your chat, and like how do you connect with your audience? I mean, I know the answer to this because I'm part of your audience, but I mean, what's some stuff that you try to do to connect with everybody?
Well, the first thing I do is I try to at least have some one-on-ones with everyone in chat. Not like actually like, coming to a Discord call and just talking with them, but just, I just try my best to interact with every single one that does chat.
You hear that, lethal viewers? I'm special. I get the one-on-one.
but but yeah, I try my best to keep, in touch with people and that are at least, people that are commonly show up in my chat. I try to, make sure I give some time to interact with them, because chat is like the backbone of streams. You know, if you don't have anyone chatting and it's just you playing, it's at least
You're
in my
missing out
opinion,
part of the
it's
experience.
yeah, you're missing out on part of the experience of what is streaming. So that's why I'm really heavily relying on chat to make jokes and to be funny some of the time.
That's the curse I have. I don't want to say my girlfriend likes to say that I'm really funny. I have really reactive humor. So just like talking into nothing is hard for me. But when people are talking in chat or in a voice call, you've heard the jokes. It'll be like, let's play Slayer. I'll be like, Slayer, I barely even know her, or something really dumb. But it's like figuring that stuff out. And I think that like not having a chat makes that a little harder for people who aren't used to like just talking. And I'm not used to just talking still.
Yeah, I agree. At least for me though, I do sometimes, even when I'm just alone or out in public, I will talk to myself a little bit, just be like, oh, I have to go grab this, it's over here, if I'm like at a store or whatever, which I think does help a little bit with just if no one in chat is talking, I can at least just say what I'm doing, what I'm going to be doing, what I need to be doing.
Just talking. I have a question. This is not related to content creation or gaming, but when you were in the car in like the back seat when you were younger, would you look out the window and imagine like a little ninja running across the rooftops and stuff? Okay, good. That is a quintessential childhood memory.
I still do from time to time.
Yeah, sometimes even now at my age, I'm like, ooh, let's what would it look like if there was a ninja running across the roof right now? I gotta know.
There was a ninja running along the telephone wires.
What if there was a robot chasing the ninja? Just all sorts of stuff like that. So,
going back though, I think the other way I do try to interact with at least people in my community is just through my Discord. I always tell people if they have something to show me or if they want to talk to me, I tell them to just DM me or put it in the Discord or put it in my Discord, because I'm always looking there. I'm always looking at what's going on in different communities, my community, if I'm in active conversations already, I'm always looking on Discord pretty much, which call it sad if you want, but I just, that's where all my friends are. So
yeah, I think interacting with your friends and stuff is always a good thing. And nobody can really speak negatively about that unless you're like doing something that negatively impacts you. But I don't think that like spending the time to talk to your friends is not that.
Yeah.
You kind of talked about it a little bit. So you talked about like you streaming on Twitch, and I believe that's the only platform. But like, do you have like what platforms do you focus on, and why did you pick those platforms in particular?
Well, I picked Twitch just because that's just kind of the most known streaming service, and mainly because that's where I know like John and Lodge. They have a lot, they have a huge following there, which is those two are literally the reason why I even have a community. It's just because they have helped me so much with getting off my feet when it comes to streaming. So I guess that's pretty much a huge reason why I do it on Twitch. Nobody really has my subscribe to like my YouTube channel, or I think I have a lot of followers on TikTok, but a lot of them are just from, like I was saying, that one meme video that I put almost 2 years ago. So I feel like I just have the best way of connecting to people through Twitch.
I think that's fair. I mean, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube are kind of like the big three, I think, in terms of spreading content at the moment. YouTube you can stream to now, and it's grown a lot over the last few years, but like Twitch is still like when people are talking about streaming video games, Twitch is still, I think, the most known streaming platform. YouTube only would technically be more because people know YouTube for watching videos and stuff like that. But I don't know a lot of people who go to YouTube to watch streams.
I also agree. I see a bunch of like YouTubers that I'm subscribed to on YouTube, and they're doing a stream, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to click on that. I just want to watch a video.
YouTube has, again, done a lot for their platform. Twitch just has more stuff. The emotes are better. The integrations are better. There's a lot on Twitch that's just kind of a little better.
I do
Not
also
to say
agree with
YouTube is
that.
not good. I think it's a fine platform. Twitch has also just been around longer in terms of for streaming games. So definitely something to kind of look at. You mentioned Spotify a little while ago. What's some music or like a band that you've kind of been like really listening to? Like, do you have like a favorite song right now or a favorite band or anything like that? Or
Well,
you
I
kind of
know,
just gonna
I
give me
know
like
that.
4 genres and say this?
Well, there's only one really main genre that I listen to on like my like personal playlist, because there are two playlists that I'll like listen to when I stream. One is just like a lo-fi, DMC free, just listen to relaxing music that I'll put on the background. The other is my personal playlist, where the main thing that I listen to is underground rap. I don't know what it is about it. It's the melodies and the beats. They just
And the
hit my
Earthworms.
soul. And the earthworms, yeah. But they just hit my soul in a way that not a lot of songs do. And I think it's also partly my friends' faults, because they would listen to the same music and I wanted to fit in with them more. And I would listen to it and I just kind of grown to love it a lot.
Humans are
But
social creatures, so it does make sense.
that is true. But my favorite, I guess, they're not even a band. It's just my favorite duo. They're called, and I literally have almost like all
YouTube,
of
he
their
said
songs.
sewer slides, boys.
Sewer Slide Boys, yeah. It's spelt with $2 in the beginning and the end, but yeah, I think they're definitely my favorite. I have a lot of their albums just in my own playlist. I think
Mm-hmm.
the last, let me see real quick. I think the last like 4 or 5 albums that they have are just in my playlist alone.
Okay. You really like them
They're
then.
also
Wow.
the only artist that I've actually gone to see in concert as well.
Oh wow. Yeah,
And
I'm hoping to get
that
to a
was a lot of
concert
fun.
later this year. I've never been to one. I'm hoping to go. I have to decide. It's in a good venue, so probably will wind up going.
I want to try to go, because they have one pretty much every year, and I would love to go again this year, but it happens to fall around when I have classes.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so they're the one that's gonna be in my city's in October.
Yeah, nothing for nothing. I would rather have to figure out how to get around classes than like work. Cause like
Yeah,
there was a band, I don't remember who it was at this point, but there was a band who came near me and I was like, I wanted to go see them, but they were on like a Thursday at like 9 p.m. And I was like, why? I could take the Friday off, but like, why? And that happens a lot. So I think that stuff kind of is, it's just funny. Like, if it had been
yeah.
like college, I would have just gone. I would have been like, whatever. My Friday class doesn't matter. I'll go later.
But we going to that concert, I had a lot of up and downs, because I had bought tickets because I was just gonna go on my own, but my mom was like, even though I was already an adult, my mom was like, no, you should bring someone with you. And so I got my best friend a ticket, because he also listens to the same people.
Mhm.
And the issue was that there were 2 different tickets in 2 different spots in the entire area.
Oh no.
For most of it, we were actually able to sit next to each other, but then the people there that were working there, they pretty much had us split apart for a little bit. And then near the end, I just went up towards his seat, because his seat was a lot worse than mine. Mine was pretty up close. It wasn't in the mosh pit, but I do wish I could have gotten one in the mosh pit.
Just do it. Make your dreams come true.
But
Yeah, that seems like an experience.
and the only other issue that I had during that concert was I didn't charge my phone for long enough, so it died. It died like around when the actual main performance started happening, because they had like, I think, 4 or 5 other artists before
Yeah, like the
they went on.
openers.
Yeah, they had like 4 or 5 openers, and I recorded some of it. A pretty well-known rapper in at least the business, Ski Mask the Slump God. He makes a lot of funny songs. During the actual concert, he dove off the stage into the mosh pit, and I thought it was awesome. But
I don't know if I'd ever want
yeah,
to be like in the mosh pit. Not because One, because I don't want to be around that close to that many people. But like, if anything like that ever happened, I would be like, I'm the one who's going to drop them. I'm going to be the reason that like David Draymond of Disturbed jumps into the crowd for the first time ever and breaks his neck. You know, it's going to be my fault. So I would never do that.
Understandably so, but yeah, they're definitely my favorite artists.
Well, that's cool. Fun fact: my significant other I got her into listening Sleep Token. It's like they got really big with their most recent album. I've liked them for a while. They're really good. But my significant other looked up tickets to London so we could go to their concert live because they didn't have any concerts in the States.
Oh no.
I was like, hon, we cannot afford to fly to London just to go to a concert. And she's like, but I really want to go. So I think they're classified as metal. I wouldn't call them metal. They have like this quote from like the only interview the lead singer's ever done because they're like really like trying to like be anonymous and stuff. And where he's basically just like, don't listen to genres. They're just going to box you in or something. Music is for everyone. Do it, it's basically make what you want. So like they're, I think, classified as metal, but they do like a lot of, they like metal, they do rap, they do hip hop, they do jazz in their songs. Like it's a bunch of stuff. It's really cool. They've taken over my playlist.
Yeah. There are some other, artists on my playlist that I do like listen to. One of the main ones is MF Doom, may he rest in peace. His songs are just funny as hell and they're so good. Other than that, I have some off ones as well. Like I have Avenged Sevenfold on my playlist as well, just because I think that's mainly from me loving Call of Duty Zombies that I like their songs a lot. But
I can't believe you just called them an off pick. My soul, dude. All right, is Linkin Park an off pick too? Like, come on.
I don't listen to them if I'm being
Oh
honest,
my
but
god.
hate me all you want.
No, we're gonna after this podcast. We're gonna stay in this call. I'm gonna move you to a different. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get a music pot in here, and you're gonna listen to the good songs. I'm gonna teach you.
Like I've listened to Linkin Park, don't me, but it's not something that I like play on the regular.
That's man. Can't believe you don't listen to fucking Meteora or the horrors that I'm listening to right now. Hybrid Theory. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. Going back to like content and stuff. What's the best advice you ever received regarding gaming or content creation, or both? Maybe it was the same thing.
That's a good question. I don't really know. I think it was mainly just from John because I was telling him like I was feeling down because I wasn't, doing extremely well in streaming. And he was just like, dude, don't look at the numbers. It's going to crush you. And it at one point it did, but now I've learned to not care. But I think John and Lodge have really pushed me in the right direction when it comes to streaming. You as well. I can't forget with that little private conversation we had a while ago. I think you three have definitely pushed me in a good direction when it comes to streaming.
Yeah, I think the numbers thing is like a big thing everybody has to like get through. It's very rare I meet anyone who's like, yeah, I want to start streaming, that doesn't get worried or like concerned or at some level gets down over like, oh, I'm not getting any viewers, or the only viewer showing up in my chat is trying to promote let me promote your channel, the bots and stuff. So I think that getting that talk about like not worrying about the numbers is really important early on.
Yeah.
The earlier the better, really. I mean, honestly. But sometimes you kind of got to experience that being down a little bit before you'll really take that numbers talk to heart.
Yeah, I think that definitely was how it worked for me. It's just I needed to really feel it and then hear it in order to have it actually have some meaning.
Kind of got to learn by doing. It's kind of, people talk about like the do as I say, not as I do a lot. And it is, people kind of take that philosophy and it's brought to like giving advice, and it doesn't always work that way for people. So
yeah, for me at least personally, I'm a heavy like hands-on type of person, so learning from hands-on is definitely a lot better for me than like obviously having to be told what to do is important because you can't learn without being told. But for me, like after being told and being shown, I usually retain like how to do stuff a lot better.
yeah, that makes sense. We're getting close to time here, so I'm going to go just a couple like relatively easy questions that are kind of a little more wrap up questions.
Yeah.
You've been doing YouTube and stuff, or you've mentioned in the chat a few times that I've seen that you're working on a YouTube video. You're working on like the intros and stuff. When do you think your next piece of content upload is coming? Not talking about streams or like TikToks. I'm talking about like upload to YouTube or some other like a video hosting site.
I would hope within the next month. All I have left to do for this current video that I'm working on is get a thumbnail. That's being particularly hard because the one part that I want to use for the thumbnail is really low resolution. So I would have to either make it with Blender or, have to do something. I've already talked with, because it's the person in the thumbnail would be John. And I've already talked to him multiple times about what I would be doing for it. And he said he would help me, but I also don't want to bother him because he's trying to get his own video out. So I've been trying to ask him for like his overall Destiny drip or his look, just so I could have someone recreate it for me. To know, no one's surprise, he hasn't really done it.
He's a busy man.
He is a busy man though.
Fun story. So, John Titor is episode 1. We actually, this is all my fault, but we met and did the episode, and it didn't record Discord audio, so he was muted the whole time.
Oh no.
So we got through the whole. It was like hour 15. We went for a while. We went through the whole hour 15, and I had to DM him like, I think like 5 minutes after it ended, and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, it didn't get your audio. When are you free again?" So we're gonna be recording on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. It'll still be the first episode live, and I'm sure we'll joke about it in that episode. If we don't, hey guys, if you watch the first episode, that's technically episode 2 because we interviewed him twice. So we have the lost episode now. That is the very first conversation. We'll get that.
But with
we'll get
no
that put out.
answers.
Yeah, with no answers. But I think the second one would be better. The first one, it was still a lot of raw emotion about the Bungie layoffs.
Yeah.
Trashing Bungie in 343. So I'm hoping maybe we're a little more fun in the second one, the second take. Is there any announcements you'd like to share? I know you just kind of talked about your video coming up in hopefully a month, or at least whenever you can figure out your intro or your thumbnail. But what do you have any other announcements? Anything you're working on? I know you recently debuted your PNG tuber,
Yeah.
which was great.
So-
Congratulations, by the way. But do you have
Thank
anything
you.
that you have like in the works?
I don't have necessarily anything in the works. The one thing I guess the one thing I do have in the works technically. So I'm going to try to incorporate, because it was a pretty big success when I did it. I'm going to try to incorporate at least once a week a crowd control stream. For those that have never heard, crowd control is it's a way where people can interact, people in like chats can interact with the actual person playing. So for example, I personally am going to be doing like crowd control Minecraft. So someone could spend like, I don't know what I'm going to set the price to, because I have to readjust so I can balance it to be a better mix between fun and cheap, but not too cheap where I get fucked over constantly. So you could just like, pay money and you could spawn an ender dragon right at my feet.
Hell yeah!
Seems like a lot of people had a lot of fun with it, regardless of prices and whatnot. I had a lot of fun with it, so I want to tweak that and make sure I can get it to be as optimal as I can for fun and being able to actually play the game.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I look forward to doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'll spawn like 4 ender dragons for you at the same time. Just go ham with it.
I can also invite people, because the way that it works is it like makes a server, so I can invite people to also play with me.
Oh, that's fun. Maybe I'll hit you up for that eventually. I don't play Minecraft the same way. I think I've watched y'all play it. Y'all get to the Ender Dragon really fast. I'm so lazy. I'll take like so long, just like, ooh, I like my little dirt hut. Let me go cut down this forest and have way more wood than I'll ever need. I have cleared this forest.
Yeah.
That's fun for me. Like my way to play Minecraft is I like to explore the caves and like do stuff like that. I'll spend hours just like walking around in caves.
Yeah, makes
It can be a
sense.
problem. It can be a problem because people are like, "You gonna finish the game?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't put torches in every area of this entire mine shaft yet." Anyway, so like the last like major question I have is, how can our listeners connect with you or follow your work?
Yeah, so like we've discussed multiple times already, I'm at least until school starts again, I'm pretty much live almost every day on twitch.tv/LethalSuper. If you are interested in ever following any kind of videos that I somehow end up making for some reason, my YouTube is youtube.com /lethal3 or at lethal3. I should probably change that to Lethal Super at some point if I can. But yeah, and then I also have my TikToks, which are also TikTok, Lethal Super. Those are the main ways that people connect. If you come into my streams at all, you'll be able to join my Discord that I don't do a whole lot in, but I try to at least interact with the community.
And I'll have those. If you do change your YouTube name, will you make sure to send that to me so I can put that in the description?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have all of Lethal's socials linked in the description of this video. So make sure you go give a follow, a like, and all that good stuff because we want our guests to have enjoyed not only talking to me but grow a little bit, or vice versa, so that they come back because we will eventually have people back. But I really thank you for hanging out. All right, well that is all I have. Do you have anything you want to go over before we close her out?
No, I just wanted to thank you for your time and thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can set this up again. I've got a few episodes lined up, but once I get through my planned guests, we'll see about getting you on. I think John and I have talked about doing that already. So it would be nice to have some return guests and just kind of see where we are once the episodes has gotten rolling. But I appreciate you for your time. Thank you so much for hanging out. For everybody at home watching and or listening, because I'm going to see about putting this up audio only on Spotify. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Hopefully by the time this comes out, we've gotten some more content from Old Lethal here, but we will see. But until the next time, I will catch all of you later.